This home makes me feel safe. It makes me feel very grateful all the time. And it makes me feel connected. It's a very grounding place to be. We are so with the earth, we are so of nature. The city is where I feel connected to humanity, and out here is where I remember that we barely matter at all. I'm Noz Nozawa, I'm an interior designer, and this is my home in Lake Tahoe. So the interiors of this home, when we arrived, were extremely renter conspicuous. It was obvious that the space had been just a rental property and not particularly well kept up or invested in. Being as neglected as it seemed to have been for almost 50 years at that point made the renovation basically guilt-free. My husband and I had a few non-negotiables together and individually. He needed everything to be comfy. His version of comfy has not only physical comfort, but the aesthetics of comfortability. And do I think I achieved that? Perhaps I do, perhaps I do. It certainly feels comfy and cozy to me. I love when my friends and family come over and they just immediately plop down. That's the sign when you know that you've nailed it, is people just plop. No one's standing around waiting. That is my favorite. For me, the non-negotiables were that I wanted the main room to be dark colors. So I painted the walls of our great room this kind of like moody, charcoaly, dark teal green. It's giving the color of blue spruce trees, which are sort of like a blue-green, but then taken way down. In this house, you can never have too much wood, too many bears, especially silly bears, and too many blankets. I love a blanket, and it gets cold in the winter, so the more blankets, the better. Nature informed so many of our design choices, both because outside of this property is a creek and the Tahoe National Forest in our backyard. So our backyard truly just butts up into the forest, which is amazing because we can just walk out there and hike. It's very lovely, but it meant that I didn't want to do a whole lot inside. So for example, wood and just sort of natural presentations of wood were already here, and I didn't want to do a thing to change that. You know, having wood ceilings, having wood trim that is stained and not painted, not fighting nature, but sort of allowing it to present as it is, and doing that with other, you know, like light fixtures and the furniture with live edge things. Fun fact about me, I actually adore hunting lodge motifs and aesthetic. I think it's so beautiful, but I myself am not a person who could hunt. So this is kind of a perfect compromise. We have a trophy, it's sitting over the mantle, very traditional, but it's foam with, you know, Pendleton fabric on top. Our guest bathroom on the main level is one of the wilder things I've done in a bathroom. I have loved Buffalo Check probably for as long as this cabin has existed, meaning many years before I was born, but I only ever saw it as a textile. And so it felt very subversive at the time to come up with plaid tile, which is not the first time anyone's done plaid tile, but I hadn't seen someone do Buffalo Check tile. I had serious concerns that it would be trendy. What if by the time this is done, everyone's over it or they think it's passé? And then I remembered how I don't care. I just don't care what people think about trends that come and go. If I love it, then that's good enough for me. And so I did it, I installed it, and I still love it, and I have no regrets, not a single one. I know that in this industry, sometimes people vilify the idea of trend. And I think that makes sense because trend is so often synonymous with waste, right? That you buy the thing that's trendy while it's hot, and then when it's over, you have to buy the new trend, and you sort of become a hostage to the cycle of never-ending consumption. I just have kind of changed my perspective on it over the time that I've been a designer, where I've realized like trend is cool in a lot of ways. To me, it's almost like the zeitgeist of culture has turned its gaze towards something and has focused on it, and they've decided they like it. There's something very beautiful about that shared experience. I just don't like when people use trends to make someone else feel bad about what they have. I don't believe in, if you liked a thing that was a trend at the time and you still love it, but the zeitgeist has moved on, that doesn't make your thing bad. It doesn't make what you chose a few years ago negative or passé. If you still love it, great. If you have decided that you've moved on, also great. This is my kotatsu. It's a custom furniture piece, 9 feet diameter circle. And the name is a combination of conversation pit and a kotatsu, which is a heated Japanese low sitting table that goes all the way back to feudal, like samurai era Japan. This is my first time having an opportunity to live with a piece of furniture that I designed from concept all the way through. It feels really rewarding, and it's also great because, like so many designers, I treat my own home as a laboratory or a test kitchen. I have many, many notes about things that I would do a little differently now that I've had an opportunity to live with it. So it's both a dream come true and also like, this is how you QA, this is how you quality control and test out this idea of like a weird sort of like fall asleep after you eat dinner kind of concept table. If I could be in conversation with the walls of this cabin, I would tell it, thank you. That's it. I'm like getting choked. This place means a lot to me and I'm just really grateful. So thank you to my cute little house.